Patrick Mahomes has been setting the league on fire ever since he stepped onto the field, but here's a mind-blowing question for you. Has his young talent gunslinger skills already outpaced some NFL legends? Well, let's find out. First thing first though, we gotta talk about the hardware here, and those highly sought after Super Bowl rings that every quarterback dreams of rising into the air. Mahomes is now part of an elite club, joining the likes of Troy Aikman, Terry Bradshaw, Tom Brady, and even Joe Montana. You see, these are the only starting quarterbacks to ever win 3 or more Super Bowls at just the age of 28. Mahomes is already part of that exclusive fraternity with the Lombardi Trophy under his belt. Now, let's put that into a little bit more perspective here. The one and only Tom Brady, the undisputed GOAT, had his first 3 Super Bowls by the time that he was 27 years old with the New England Patriots, but guess what? Mahomes is hot on his heels as the second youngest quarterback to ever notch that 3rd championship. Montana and Bradshaw, who are 2 absolute icons of the game, who did inevitably leave their mark on the sport forever, had finished their Hall of Fame careers with 4 rings each. Mahomes is well on his way to joining that club, and he's barely scratched the surface on his potential. I mean, can you imagine the level of skill, poise, and clutch genes that it takes to be able to lead a team to not just 1, not just 2, but 3 Super Bowl victories at such a young age? Mahomes definitely has ice water coursing through his veins, a cool and calm demeanor that belies the intense pressure cooker for the NFL playoffs. When the stakes are at their highest, he somehow manages to elevate his game to new heights, dissecting defenses with surgical precision and making plays that leave even the most seasoned analysts slack-jawed in awe. And speaking of potential here, let's talk about those highly sought-after MVP awards, the ones that separate the good from the great and the great from legendary. Mahomes has already made his name amongst Brady and Montana as the only 3 quarterbacks to ever win 3 or more Super Bowl MVPs. That's right, he's tied with the greats Montana and Brady, only trailing Brady, who holds the record with 5 Super Bowl MVPs. And seriously, can you imagine this guy? Because at this rate, he might as well just surpass Brady's record before he hangs up his cleats. And what's more is, in the regular season MVP conversation, Mahomes already has 2 awards under his belt, putting him in the same company as Lamar Jackson, the only other current NFL player to win it twice. You know who else has 2 regular season MVPs? Steve Young, Joe Naismith, Kurt Warner. Not a bad company to keep around, eh? These are some of the most iconic names in football history, and Mahomes is already rubbing shoulders with them at an age when most quarterbacks, well, they're just getting their feet wet in the league. Now, let's switch gears over to records, because Mahomes is already rewriting the books with his insane performance. He's already 4th all-time for passing yards in a single season, behind only those of Manning, Breeze, and Brady. And get this, he is tied for 2nd all-time for passing touchdowns in a season, matching Brady's 50 scores and trailing only Manning's record at 55. And to make it that much more incredible, he literally did it at the age of 22 when he was first starting out. Insane, right? This guy was barely old enough to drink, and he was already slinging the pigskin like a seasoned vet. But here is the kicker though. Mahomes is still working his way up the career stat leaderboards, and that's where things are gonna get exciting. At the time of this recording, he is ranked 39th in career passing touchdowns and 65th in career passing yards, but don't worry, he is about to pass Hall of Famer Len Dawson as the Kansas City Chiefs all-time passing leader for yards and TDs. And once he knocks that milestone off his list, well, the sky's the limit for this young phenom. With plenty of time left in his career, Mahomes is well on his way to shattering records with the likes of Brady, Manning, and others. Coming off of his back-to-back Super Bowl victories, he is cementing his legacy as one of the greatest quarterbacks each passing game that he goes into. And the best part, he's just getting started. Now, let's talk about those playoff wins, shall we? Mahomes currently holds the highest playoff percentage in the history of his position at a staggering 83.3%. That's right, this guy's a certified winner. And remember that unforgettable moment in the 2022 playoffs whenever Mahomes scrambled for his life, barely evading a sack, before releasing a jaw-dropping sidearm missile to Travis Kelce for a game-winning touchdown? Or wait, hold on. Think about that time that he launched a deep bomb into the wailing arms of a streaking Tyreek Hill, hitting him in a stride for a walk-off score. Those are some kind of plays that just define legacies. The moments which separate good from great. And Mahomes, well, he's already authored countless such moments in his young career. Now, let's take a moment to appreciate the complete magnitude of exactly what Mahomes has already accomplished at such a young age. He's already won 3 Super Bowls and 3 Super Bowl MVPs, with 2 regular season MVPs under his belt, and is rewriting the record books with his insane stats. But what is truly remarkable is the way he's actually doing it. This guy isn't just racking up numbers. He's doing it with style, flair, and an unparalleled level of excitement. And let's not forget about his impact off the field either. Mahomes is a true ambassador for the game, a role model for aspiring athletes everywhere. But what sets Mahomes apart from the rest isn't just his physical talents or, well, even his impressive starting stats. His mental approach to the game, his ability to dissect defenses and make split-second decisions that leave even the most experienced analyst feeling confused. And let's not forget about the supporting cast around him. The Kansas City Chiefs had assembled a talented group of playmakers, from the bruising rushing game of Jerick McKinnon to the dynamic receiving core led by Travis Kelce. But even surrounded by such gifted athletes, Patrick Mahomes emerges as the clear leader and the one who orchestrates his high-powered offensive attack. Maybe nothing shows Mahomes' leadership and coolness under pressure more than the AFC Championship game against the Bengals in 2023. The Chiefs were behind late in the fourth quarter, but Mahomes led a clutch drive that tied the game. He threw a perfect touchdown pass to Kelce in the end zone. Then in overtime, he stayed calm and marched the offense down the field for the winning field goal, sending Kansas City to the Super Bowl. It was an amazing performance, showing how much Mahomes believed in himself and his teammates. But perhaps the most impressive part of Mahomes' rise lies in how he's managed the burden of expectation and the intense spotlight. Since his draft in 2017, the hype around him has been overwhelming to say the least, with experts and fans alike anointing him as the next extraordinary quarterback. Many individuals may have crumbled under his pressure, but hey, Mahomes embraced it, using it as motivation to reach even greater heights. If you recall the 2018 season alone, Mahomes, first as a starter, whenever he took the league by storm and shattered records left and right. In just his second career start, he announced his arrival with a 6-touchdown performance against the Steelers, putting the NFL on notice. And he didn't stop there, going to throw for over 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns, numbers that would have been impressive for a seasoned vet, let alone a first-year starter. But Mahomes wasn't content to simply put up impressive stats. Oh no, my friend. He wanted to lead his team to the promised land, and in the 2019 NFL season, he did just that, guiding the Chiefs to their first Super Bowl victory in 50 years, and capturing his first Lombardi Trophy and Super Bowl MVP award in the process. It was a performance that had cemented his status as one of the game's brightest young stars, a legend in the making, if you will. And let us not forget that Mahomes is not just after personal awards. He's aiming for team success and a lasting legacy. Each win makes people talk more and more about a dynasty following the Chiefs, and heck, why not? The Chiefs might end up becoming like some of the greats, for example, the 80s 49ers or the early 2000s Patriots. And look at it this way, Mahomes has elevated the play of those around him. Travis Kelce has blossomed into one of the most dominant tight ends in the league, a matchup nightmare for opposing defenses. Receivers like Tyreek Hill, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Marquise Valdez-Scantling have thrived in Mahomes' potential aerial attack, putting up career numbers and making highlight reel plays on a weekly basis. And then there is the defense, of course, a unit that has grown more formidable with each passing year. With Mahomes leading the charge on the offense, the Chiefs defense has had the luxury of playing with a lead more often than not, allowing them to pin their ears back and just get after the quarterback. But hey, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves here, folks. After all, Mahomes is still just scratching the surface of his potential, and thought of what might be accomplished in the next years to come is just truly mind-blowing. So, the question is now, could he beat Brady's record for Super Bowl MVPs, and will he be at the top of his career passing yards and touchdown leaderboards, making him the most prolific passer in the NFL? We'd like to hear your thoughts in the description box below. And while you're at it, be sure to leave us a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe for more great content just like this one.